The question of the day is from Ken. Ken asks, what is long exposure noise reduction in menu settings, and how and when do you use it? The goal of long exposure noise reduction is to reduce noise in long exposure shots. But let's talk about how. First, long exposure shots are generally considered to be shutter speeds slower than 1 second. However, depending upon your camera, long exposure noise reduction may not kick in until slower shutter speeds are used. And beyond that, the noise level in your images may not be unacceptable to you until much longer shutter speeds are used. So, try out your shot before deciding if you even want to turn on long exposure noise reduction. Now, what exactly does long exposure noise reduction do for you? Okay, well, it obviously reduces noise, but not all types of noise. It reduces hot pixels, which can be a problem when shooting long exposure shots, and it reduces leakage, which can be caused by the components in your camera as they heat up and interfere electronically with the sensor during long exposures. Grain or noise produced by high ISO shooting is not affected. So if you're shooting at high ISO sensitivities, you may still have noise in the form of grain in your image. How does it work? The camera takes your shot, but then it takes an additional shot, a dark shot, which means that it takes a photo with the shutter closed. And then it compares the two and figures out where the problems are so that it can improve the final image that you see. The thinking here is that the noise produced with the shutter closed will also affect the shutter open image. The camera takes the noise in the dark frame and subtracts it from the exposed frame. Now, to answer the question of why you would use it. You would use it anytime you find unacceptable noise in your long exposure images. If you do use it, remember that the images will take longer to process in camera, maybe even twice as long, and you won't be able to take any more shots while it's processing. If you use this option and are still experiencing unacceptable noise, try the lowest ISO that you can. If you still have problems, keep shooting, do the best you can on site, and prepare for a bit of editing later on. Thanks for the question, Ken.